Retro.
And welcome everybody to another episode of the Animanicast.
There's a word in every language, a word that you should know, a word that means you're friendly, a word used high and low, though the way to say it varies most everywhere you go. Its meaning never changes, and that word is hello. Hello, 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 hello.
Welcome everybody once again to the Animanicast. This, of course, is the podcast that is dedicated to the animated television series Animaniacs, as well as other shows within the Rueggerverse, such as Tiny Toon Adventures, Pinky and the Brain, and Freakazoid. And today is a very special episode because Nathan and Kelly could not be here today. So I had to do a very special episode. We're going to call this a Fanamaniacs episode. We're going to call it maybe the Fanamanicasts. Something like that. I don't know. Because today we are celebrating a fan project that you hopefully have already heard about. The Hello Song, which is truly an international project done by a wonderful, talented group of animators and fans of the show, of course, who put this all together. I am Joey, and joining me for the first time here on the Animanicast are Max, Ray, and Greta. Welcome, folks, to the Animanicast. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Glad to be here.
Nice to have you all on. So, just so you folks know, this is perhaps the we're having to record at a special time and everything because this project is crossing multiple time zones throughout the world. Max is in the United States, but Greta is in Hungary, and Ray is in Costa Rica. So this is quite exciting to have you guys all on. Thank you for all coming on at the same time. How many? I'm assuming that most of your interactions with each other probably have not been at the same time. More like just via emails and chats and things like that. Is that assumption correct?
Oh yeah, we mostly got together through Discord. We met in a server.
Yeah.
An Animaniacs-based server, no surprise there.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, so tell me, how did this project come to be? What was the whose idea was this to come up to say hey, this would be kind of fun to do, and just tell me, folks, how did this all come to be? What's the story?
Greta, would you like to lead?
Yeah, I'm guilty as charged. I was the one who came up with the idea. It started with, fun enough, I had a dream because at the time I already joined a reanimated project, the Chalkboard Bungle Reanimated. And
Yes.
I was very in the zone with those projects, and I had a dream that I was in a project where an Animaniacs song was getting animated, and I was in the Discord server watching all the work in progress people shared. Then I woke up and got very sad, and I explained this dream to Max and Ray, and they just said hey, we could help out making something like that. Could be fun to animate a song that doesn't have any visual side to it, so it's just the sound, and we get to make all the visuals for it and get people on the project to work together. So yeah, that was the idea, the start.
So how was this song picked? Was it just let's look at the songs that have not been animated, or what was the decision process like?
I think that was pretty much it. We there were a couple that stood out to us from the albums that never ended up getting on the show. I know Hello Song, for me personally, it just dug holes in my brain and would not let go. And it was between, I think, that one and maybe Several Drops of Rain, the dot centric song.
Yes.
And we were
Yeah.
like, well, everyone loves that Wacko. We love Wacko. Oh, wait, sorry. My bad. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, there were several choices, but I think we landed on that. At least I did, because it's like easy to separate into chunks for animators to do. Also, we storyboarded it in chunks as well. Like three of us made each part to put together at the end. And it was easier because it's like with several drops of rain, it's like has a through line and it's like very linear. With Hello
Yeah.
Song, you can chunk it up easily and just give out each part to an animator.
Yeah, I can definitely picture that. Just because what I really appreciate about the cartoon is, honestly, I always kind of, like, as a kid, in case folks out there don't know, the Hello Song was featured on the album Yakko's World. Yakko's World was an album that came out September 4th, 1994, according to the wonderful folks at the Animaniacs Wikipedia. And I remember getting this album. I had it on CD, and I would listen to it. And honestly, the mental pictures that I had in my head is a lot of what I see coming across in this, where it was segmented into different parts of the world, and I think it comes across beautifully. The dots, several drops of rain. I could see how that, yes, it would be a much more, well, fluid from one piece to the other, where kind of I would almost like in my brain as a kid, I would always kind of imagine following the almost like a stream, and it would all. It doesn't have starts and stops. It kind of just keeps going and going and going. Of course, Yakko and Wacko, bump in on that song quite a few times. So there's that. But this is very true. I think I would think would be the intention of what it would look like on the actual series. At least that's what I got from watching it several times.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
like during this song, as we listen to it, we try to listen to music cues, because they kind of, in the actual show as well, they put in musical cues of what's happening on the screen as well. Like Ray storyboarded the last parts of the last segment of the song, and when the burners at the end flop down to the ground, and that was kind of a cue in the music as well, and it was integrated so well.
Yes, absolutely. So did you all work on the storyboards then, and then piece out the storyboards to the animators, or how did that sign up process go, and how did that planning process go?
Oh,
Pretty
like
much.
yeah, it was like we shared the Google Drive of the animatic, because it was edited together as like a video, so people can watch it together at once, and they can pick a shot, and we would send the clip to them, and they could work from that.
By the way, we've uploaded the animatic to our channel now, so anybody who wants to can, check that out.
That's fantastic. So tell me, folks, how long have you all been fans of Animaniacs? Like, when did you first discover the show and things like that? Let's see, Ray. Let's start with you. You haven't been able to chime in too much, so let's tell me, when did you first discover the show?
So it's kind of funny, because when I was little, I didn't watch it that much. I knew it existed, but I don't know, just didn't click. But then I think it wasn't the pandemic. I don't remember what happened. I think I saw an edit someone made, and I was, oh, that looks fun. That looks cute. I'm gonna watch it, and here we are. Obsessed.
So you had that nice time to like catch up on, and of course that's the 2020 during the pandemic was a great time for the reboot to premiere because hey, it was new content, and of course that was a wonderful time on Hulu where you could get both the reboot and the original series.
Yeah.
So the amount of content at your fingertips was very high.
So we don't have Hulu here, so I had to watch it. Sorry, illegally.
Yes.
Because it wasn't available anywhere. And I binged the whole thing, like the original, in like 2 weeks maybe. Like all day, every day. It was insane. But I loved it.
Yeah, imagine being in like when I was a kid and having to wait each day for a new episode. It's so nice for fans now where they could just watch the episode. I remember when we were first going over these episodes, just reviewing every episode of the series. There was actually a lot of episodes that I had never seen because of the fact that being an old school fan, I would watch the show on Fox or on Kids WB and tape the show, or when you couldn't watch it. And some of these episodes were, they would show them a lot on reruns, and some of the episodes they'd show once or twice. And if you missed it, well, you missed it, and that was it. So it's so nice now being able to, whether it's legally or illegally, being able to watch the series pretty easily. Someone get Ray a DVD set, by the way. Let's get a Kickstarter for that, so she doesn't have to worry about that. Anyway, Max, what about you? When did you become a fan?
So I actually did end up watching it, as a kid. But that was back in the days where it was, I think it had moved off of Fox and was playing on WB Kids a lot. And then it just sort of got shuffled onto a bunch of different channels. I remember seeing stuff like Wacko's Wish on Cartoon Network. And even at some point it was, they were showing the original on the Hub Network, which used to be Discovery Kids, I believe. Yes. So not everybody had that channel, and it, kind of was faded into obscurity, but I remembered seeing it every once in a while. And I'd be like, oh yeah, the Countries of the World song. And, it's Animaniacs. It's big cultural, everybody like knows about it, even if they've never seen it. But it wasn't until around the time of the reboot that I like really got into the show, and I ended up meeting all these amazing like people who love it as much as I do. And we just kind of obsessed over it, like Ray said. We went crazy.
And Greta, all the way in Hungary, how did Animaniacs come into your life?
Well, I think when I got into the fandom, actually, it was with the reboot. I was familiar with the show, like on a pop culture level. It was like, Yakko's World and all that stuff was well known. So I knew what it was, but I watched the reboot. I loved it. It was very cute and fun. And actually what got me stay with the show, that people on Twitter kept sharing clips of the original show, and that got me to, I pirated it too, because Hulu is not available in Hungary either. And I watched throughout the original show, and that's when I fallen into the rabbit hole of Animaniacs. And that's when I joined the Discord server, and that's when I met Max and Ray. So, fun fact, Animaniacs is actually had a run in Hungary in 95. It started, but it was only half of the first season.
Oh.
But it's very hard to find. Really, it was playing on HBO at the time, so I don't know who could watch it that too much. It's weirdly, I don't recall the show back then, so...
Yeah. Well, there was quite a few episodes in that first season, so getting at least 30-something episodes alone is still pretty good to get that dubbed for the folks in Hungary. What appeals to you about Animaniacs? What do you like about the show in general? I guess, Ray, we'll go back to you. What's something you really appreciate about the show?
it's just so happy, just joy. Gives me joy.
Oh,
Seeing the world just playing around and being happy. And, no sé, little creatures. So much joy.
Yes. Max, what about you?
I think there's a similar element of it. It's just like it just transports me back to like a happier time when I was a stupid little kid sitting in front of the big old box TV and just like not a care in the world. Just I wonder when Mr. Bugs Bunny will show up again. Like. And also, now that I'm older, I really appreciate the animation on the show a lot. Like, that was one of the things that kept me coming back is just watching how these masters would use squash and stretch in their limited, frames. And it's really a marvel to behold. I really like some of the original episodes done by TMS. I'm obsessed with them. And that's a lot of where my inspiration from how I draw them comes from. So yeah.
Yeah, totally. TMS is typically the one that I think most fans kind of like, idolizes like the pinnacle of like how they got the Warners right, the details and everything like that. But each studio added a little bit of something to the Warners, the look of it, and each one, like I will always say that like Startoons, they just did Slappy better than anybody else. Like something about Startoons and furry creatures just matches. they John McClanahan just knew how to do that stuff.
They're the ones who did Wacko's America, right? Startoons.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did Wacko's America as well. So yeah, they did, and of course there's other even folks like Freelance, who were probably the weakest typically of the animation companies, still did some interesting stuff. And you look at some of the weird things that Freelance would do, which kind of stands out. Like they did a lot of the Dots Poetry Corners. In fact, I think they did all of the Dots Poetry Corners. And some of those are just so weird. I'm glad that Freelance Animation did that particular one. But Greta, what about you?
I think what got me first is what the others said. Like it was very joyful show, and at the time, I think many of us needed that laughter during the pandemic.
Very true. Very true.
And then what got me is like from all the sides of the, from music to animation to writing, it's just all the artistry coming together perfectly. And it felt like a very wide show. Like you could feel that everyone on the show like just did their best and did whatever they wanted. It was like that kind of crazy show.
Yeah,
and
the freedom right there really comes across. I agree. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, and for me, the animation is really the biggest part, because when I started watching Animaniacs, it was after I graduated. I mean, yeah, I finished university, and I was in a weird place with animation because it's my job, but I didn't have much fun in it at that time. But Animaniacs brought it back, like the squash and stretchy animation, and it got me back to do animation again for fun. So I have to thank the show for that. And it helped me find a nice community of people who share the same passion for art that I have. So that's nice.
I will say that and this is something I have to agree with you, that it's just doing this Animaniacs podcast now for over 7 years. There's a lot of fandoms. I'm going to point at my other favorite thing is Star Wars. Star Wars used to be a really great, positive community. It is no longer that way. However,
wow.
It's sad, but like the Star Wars fan community used to be like, well, we're not like those other fan communities. We're nice to each other. And all of a sudden, with the internet coming the way it is, somehow it infected the fandom, and then people start getting really mean to each other. And that's something I don't really see with the Animaniacs community. Like, people, for the most part, yeah, there's a couple, jerks here or there, but 99% of the people that I talk to are very nice people, and they're fun and they just love to talk about the show. And there's when people disagree with stuff, they deal with it in relatively professional ways. Like you're allowed to not like certain things in, like, let's say the reboot or whatever, and still be considered a fan of the show, which I think is important and nice to see. We talked earlier about the different animators, the animation studios that worked on the original series, and how each one brought out different, I would say, personality traits, or just it was just interesting to watch the animators take on the Warners in different styles. And boy, oh boy, this cartoon that you guys put together, the Hello Song, really shows that off, because every few seconds there's a new animator doing it. How many animators worked on this project?
Oh God, how many?
Yeah.
So we had about 46 shots, I think, originally, and that was how many. We tried to, split it up so that each animator got one shot. But as the project went on, we had some people who weren't, again, this was like during the pandemic still going on, so some people had to drop off because of health or school or personal reasons, all of that. So we ended up with a little bit less than 40 people, and by the end of it, some people did multiple shots, some people worked on the credits, but it was around that. It was around 40.
Yeah.
Plus 3, plus us.
Yeah.
I gotta say, you mentioned the credit scene. I love that credit scene too. Just when you think it's all done, and just being able to see the character, some more little cameo characters just kind of walking across the screen, really made me smile. And I was so glad to. I know things like this can really be a challenge, especially for fans like you, getting this going with people dropping out for those reasons. Like, I don't know what the status is on Chalkboard Bungle, but that's even a bigger kind of project, I think. And if that will, I don't know if Greta, I don't know if you have any idea if that's still going on or not.
Yeah, I think the project runner got a bit busy. I hope it will return. I think most people are still waiting. Yeah. Because it's like a bunch of shots were already done. It would be sad to drop the project. Yes. I think that's why it was smart for Hello Song to only do like a 1.5 minute song. Right. And that way we could do some bonus stuff like the credit sequence, and we could do the intros at the start. That was very fun to do as well.
Yeah,
the intros are fantastic too.
We initially didn't even, that wasn't even going to be a thing. We just kind of thought one day, like, hey, we could literally just do some credits. And I think one of the inspiration was like the reboot. We would, when it first came out, we would wait and see if there would be a little ending tower gag, like "Goodbye, Nurse" or something like that. But there weren't. And this was kind of our way of like paying homage to both the reboot and the OG. Doing those credits, so that was fun that we got to do that.
And we put in the silly comments at the end in the credits, so
yeah.
Yeah,
just wait for season 4 and wait and wait and wait.
Exactly. And I think the style, the jumping of styles, I mean, it goes to kind of like some animators go in the classic style, some of them go to the reboot style, some are in between, and others are just going on their own really wild take on an artistic take on the Warners, which is so fun to see. It's really you mentioned it's only 1.5 minutes of a song, which is crazy to me because it's so, there's so much stuff in it. It feels like it's in a good way. It feels like it's longer. We don't usually take calls, but we actually have a caller calling in right now. Give me just a moment. Let's see who this is. Hang on there.
What?
What's going on? I'm so scared right now. What's happening? Sorry. Wait, no, you can't do this.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, caller. Go ahead.
Hello. Is this Joey?
Yes. Hello, Paul.
Hi. Hello, Joey. It's Paul Rugg. I hear you have animators there of some sort.
Yes, I do. I have Max here in the United.
Hi.
Hi. Hola.
and I have Ray as well. Ray is from she's in Costa Rica.
Oh, hello, Ray. How are you?
Very confused.
Very confused. Okay. and Greta, I have Greta, and Greta is all the way in Hungary.
Ooh, hi. Greta, how do you say hello in Hungarian?
We say "szia" or "jó napot," which means good day.
Okay. All right, good. Wow. All right. So did we put that, was that in the song? Did we do Hungary in the song? I forget.
No, but you did another country where we say the similar thing. We say "szervusz" sometimes, which is from...
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. Well, you guys did a great job. You really did. It was amazing to see.
Oh my God! Thank you, and also I'm flabbergasted right now. Holy shit!
Well, just you know, I'm actually working in the yard with my wife. It's like 173 degrees. So when Joey said, "Hey, you want to call in?" I'm like, "Does that mean I gotta go inside where the air conditioning is?" Yes, I'll call them. But yeah, you guys did great. So it reminded me when I wrote this. It was written just for the album, and I think I stupidly said, "Yeah, I'll do hello in all the different languages." But back then, we didn't have we did have the internet, but no one could figure out how to work it. So there was a bookstore in our mall, and I got every foreign language book that this bookstore had, and I took it back up to my office on the 11th floor, and whatever book I had was the language that we used. So if we left stuff out, it was purely because the bookstore didn't have it. So that is that is a little behind the scenes.
That is so cool. I think we actually talked about that, right? Like we were like, I wonder what was the process for them choosing this, because this was obviously in the 90s, you're nobody's hopping on the Twitter being like, "Hey, can we collab?"
No. It was I didn't want to go ask René Ruegger because I think he would have charged me. So I was like, no, I'll do this myself. And I had a book, and I think Peter Hastings came in and he helped me a little bit too. But we wrote the album. I think it was during the summer when we had a little downtime. Hey Joe, do you guys remember when it came out? When did the album come out?
September 4th of 1994.
Yeah, so I think we wrote the album after we had written the 65 episode. After we'd written the 65 episodes, we were waiting for everything to come back. Tom Ruegger was panicking in his office, trying to glue it all together, and we were all I think we had 2 weeks to sort of just hang out. And then it was like, "Oh, you're all gonna write songs," and we're like, "Oh, really? I thought we just got to hang out." But anyway, yeah. So, but when I saw what you guys did, it was just so cool and amazing. It was really cool.
That's so nice.
Oh my God!
Thank you so much.
Thank you. This means so much to us. We're losing our minds.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys want to come help me lay some sod, I'm in Virginia, so just come on by anytime.
That's so great. And Paul, I mean, I had no idea. I mean, as a kid, I thought this song surely is going to be on the show at some point. But that was never the intention. Right? It's just it was going to be for the album, and that's it. Or
yeah. So I don't remember all the sequences, but I think Cheese Roll Call, is that on the album too? Is Cheese Roll Call on the album?
That might be. I think it's on the third one actually.
All right. So what about Ballad of Magellan? What was that? Because I think
that is on this one. Yakko's work. Yes.
So I think Tom or John McCann and I wrote Ballad of Magellan as I was writing the Hello song. And I have no idea why they chose the Ballad of Magellan to make and not the Hello song. I don't know. Anyway, go figure.
So it could have been, but never ended up being.
Could have been.
And I got to say, Paul, when I was thinking about this song earlier, this is very different from other songs that you really did for the show. The majority of the songs that you, and honestly, even Randy as well, they're based upon standard tunes.
Right.
And this one is just completely new, correct? I mean, the orchestra,
right.
Like how did the orchestration come to be and everything? Because I know you're a fantastic writer, but I don't...
So I think I wrote it to a meter. Which is, there's a word. So I wrote it to a meter, without really to a rhyme structure, without really knowing what the lyrics would be. But then I think, is Steve and Julie, did they do the music for this, or was it Richard Stone?
According to the title card that these wonderful folks put together, it looks like Steve and Julie Bernstein are credited on this.
Got it.
We checked the wiki, so if anything is nothing,
don't blame them.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's most likely on the liner notes. Then, if the wiki put down Steve and Julie Bernstein, then most likely they worked on it, and it was in the liner notes. I'm assuming on the CD.
Yeah. So the way we'd basically write it is, we when it wasn't based on a certain on a pre-existing song, I did a lot of Gilbert and Sullivan, but when it was just sort of rhyme and meter, Steve and Julie would have, or Richard Stone would just kind of do their own thing, and luckily they usually did the things that were pleasant and good. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Paul. I mean, for coming on and surprising these folks.
You're welcome. You're welcome, guys. You guys are amazing. Keep it up. Now you should do you should animate the unproducible Freakazoid script, and I'll send it to you.
Fantastic. We're gonna get this Freakazoid season 3 off the ground one way or the other.
All right, good. All right, guys. Hey, take care. You guys did a great job.
Thanks, Mr. Rugg.
Okay, take care, guys.
All right, bye, Paul.
Bye.
Bye.
So there you go. There was Paul. I thought I'd pull some strings and text him and say, "Hey, can you call in?" So
Wow.
You're my hero right now.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
I actually have now. I do have, as you guys probably know, I do have one other guy that I know quite well. This is Mr. Tom Ruegger, of course, that is the creator of Animaniacs. He was not able to call in today, but he did share a video that I can share with you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and share this video clip and let me know if you guys can see it or not. Okay. All right. So can you see?
Oh my God.
Okay. So we're gonna have we have a reaction clip here of Tom Ruegger watching your video here. Here we go.
Swahili is the tongue. In Russian, it's food if you're in Korea, annyeonghaseyo. And in some parts of Brooklyn, hello is just plain yo. Hello.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Tom really likes what loves what you've done with the hello song. Again. Push the button.
Wow.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
so there you go. I don't know if his wife appreciates him, the being constantly played over and over again, but yes, Tom absolutely loves it as well. as you
Oh
can
my
see.
Oh my god! Is there a way you can send that to us?
I will definitely. I'll be posting it online for everybody to see. So
Thank you.
no problem.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, I again, I just want to thank you, and folks, if you have not seen the Hello song, well, what are you waiting for? You go to their YouTube channel. Do you guys have a specific channel that it's on? What it's called, things like that, or how could people find it easily? I guess.
Well, we are on YouTube. We have a channel called Hello Song Animated. But if you search him for it, I think it's likely one of the first results, so you can find the song easily. Hello Song Animated. Yeah, if you want to check some shots and some behind the scenes, the artist on Twitter posted some work in progress stuff, and we retweeted it to our Twitter. And we are also by the same name, Hello Song Animated, on Twitter as well.
Yeah, that was the name of the hashtag as well that we used while it was being
if you look
made.
up the hashtag on Twitter too, you can find people posting about the project who worked on it.
Fantastic.
We also have some folks on Tumblr and Instagram who posted their work under the same hashtag. So if the video ever goes down, if WB shoots us out of the sky,
do
you
it,
can always
WB.
see.
Don't even thinking about it, WB. We're got okay. No, but and before we go, now all three of you have. I forgot to ask this, but before we wrap things up, I got to ask: where can people see your specific? Specific sections did you three animate on these? Max, let's start with you because I see you on the to my left.
Well, funny, this is the first time I ever did anything like this. Like I've been drawing like my whole life basically, but it's always, for fun. I never collaborated with a bunch of people, and I mostly worked on the actual animatic. So those parts with the gray background, they're a little hard for me to look at now because they're so rough and I just see the mistakes. But I did those. I also did some of the like administrative stuff on the project, which you won't really see, but these two here did a lot of the heavy lifting, I want to say, in terms of the animation, and it turned out so good, and I'm so happy and so proud of them.
Well, Ray, what section or sections did you work on?
In the Animaniacs,
Yes.
I don't remember from what shot exactly, but it was like the last part, because it's divided in three, so the last one I did. And I animated the shot 26, I think it was, towards the end.
You did the logo, the Amblin logo, and...
Yeah, the Amblin logo, too.
Yeah, I love that Amblin logo as well. I think Amblin... Hey, again, like when I watch certain things of this, I'm like, the reboot really should have done those kinds of things with like that. So many, like when I see what you guys did, I think, oh boy, the reboot really missed out on opportunities. Like the Bugs Bunny, even the Bugs Bunny at the beginning is so fun, and it's so much in the spirit of, I think, the original series. Whereas the reboot, I really that fade to black. Warner Brothers presents an Amblin production, like this black and white fading. I'm like, that's so boring. Who cares about? And where you guys are like, we're having fun, and we're starting from the very beginning with this Bugs Bunny and Yakko, Wacko, and Dot. It's fantastic. But Greta, what about you? What section or sections did you work on animating?
Oh yeah, speaking of the Bugs Bunny part, I animated that. I used the Wacko Wish intro as a basis for that, and hey, it was a big challenge. That, and I animated the very, very last shot where they flop down to the ground.
They fall down.
Yeah. I did those. It was very fun to actually take part in the project, because what we did is we gave out all the shots and we realized like, oh no, we actually wanted to do a few, but when a few people dropped out, we took the chance and grabbed a few shots.
Well, wait, you also did that one that Phil was working on, right? With the flags in the background.
Well, yeah, it was.
Oh wait, and also with Poof. Hold on, wait, you did a lot of shots actually.
Oh yeah, I did the Russia shot in a collab with another artist called Le Poof on Twitter.
That's our buddy.
Yeah, he's a close friend of ours, and he's also a very talented, crazy artist. He did the lantern shot where,
Ni hao.
yeah, Ni hao.
I love that one. Yeah.
Actually, a lot of our friends worked on this as well. Shout out to Mad. Shout out to Jay. Hi, we love you.
Yeah. The other shot, it was also a collab with a guy called Field Rosat. I think that's that handle on Twitter. They couldn't finish their shot, and the other person who we got to do couldn't finish it in time. So I went back to Phil and asked him, like, hey, can I finish your shot? I would do the cleanup, the coloring, everything. And he said yes, and we managed to finish it. Like, we got a lot animators from a lot of backgrounds. Some of them worked in, like, professionally in the industry. Some of them just started doing animation as a hobby. Some of them are in university learning it at the moment. It was very fun to get people from a bunch of backgrounds. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jenny,
Jenny helped us to get the project out there to other people. Like, I think Rob Paulson and others saw
Maurice LaMarche?
saw the post too. She posted up her shot, so she helped a lot that way, I think, to help reach other people as well.
Well, hopefully this is just the beginning of many more, projects and opening doors and everything for you and all the other folks who are, of course, working on this.
Yeah, sorry.
It's funny you say
of
that.
Yeah, Max, do you wanna say?
No, you go ahead.
Oh yeah, since finishing this project, we have been aching to do something else, and we have started working on slowly. It's still in development before we make it a collab, but we started working on I'll Take an Island song. We started scripting it, so it's in the
great.
progress. Yeah.
Yeah, earlier when I was like, yeah, everybody loves Wacko and all that, I that was what I almost spilled the beans right there.
Ooh, that was a great teaser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Well, of course, if when you watch the video, it's one of the things I really appreciate is that each animator is credited with their social media, things that people can find, follow them and everything, and that was, amazing. Let's go ahead and get to anything if you guys want to get in contact with you folks or follow you guys on social media at any place. Do you guys have anything you would like to promote online where people can get in contact with you or anything like that about maybe this maybe the I'll Take an Island project, or just to see what you're doing online with your artwork and things like that? Max, let's start with you.
So I was on Twitter, but I decided to that sinking boat recently. So you can find me at maxandrony.tumblr.com or thewarnerbrothers.tumblr.com. Yeah, that's MAXAN8. Wow. ANDRONI. I can't believe you got Paul Rugg. Anyway. Go on, Ray, go ahead.
No problem whatsoever. Ray, what about you?
I'm on Twitter also, but I'm about to jump ship. It's a mess. So you can find me on Instagram as Mechanical Deer. And yeah, actually, that's about it.
Okay. And Greta?
Well, I'm still on Twitter at Pinata Doodles. I'm also on Tumblr under the same name. But I think if folks who wanna keep the eye on the animated projects we might do in the future, for now follow at Hello Song Animated, and I think we will tease there to folks what might happen, and we will likely make a new blog or account just for that project, so keep your eyes peeled for that.
Very exciting. Very exciting. Well, yeah, and that just goes to show you that, there's lots more Animaniacs content to come, and I think for those people who love being an Animaniacs fan, hey, take it from a guy who, I know that some people were kind of worried when the reboot ended, and they're like, oh, now it's over. It's like, well, geez, I was a fan for 20-something years before the reboot. Between one show and the next, it doesn't mean that you have to stop being a fan or enjoying the stuff. And I'm so grateful that you folks are all working together on really going back and making new content for folks and really celebrating the show. So I'd just like to thank you guys all for coming on once again onto the show to tell us about the Hello song. So thank you guys so much for coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me. Yeah, thank you so much.
And as for the Animanicast, you can find us on Twitter for right now, Facebook, Instagram. We started up a Threads account. I don't know what to do with it really, because it's. I think one of our friends, artist Mark Aaron, I think did a great job of posting what Twitter is like today versus what Threads is like. And Twitter is like a broken down jalopy of a truck. And Threads is like a little kiddie car that doesn't quite work yet, but it kind of looks nice. So I'm not quite sure what to do with Threads yet, but we're on there, as well as other social media things. Just look for the Animanicast. We're on every podcast player as well, so check us out. But for Max, Ray, and Greta, this is Joey saying good night, everybody.
Oh, nice people listening to the podcast. Good night, everybody.
Jack was spelled backwards. It's okay.
Good night, everybody. Yo is a cat.
This podcast is not endorsed by Warner Brothers or Amblin Entertainment and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Animaniacs, Tiny Toon Adventures, Freakazoid, the Warner Brothers logo, all names, pictures, and sounds are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of the Animanicast unless otherwise indicated.